You know, a lot of people do videos on how to sell your home or how to buy a home or what the process is like doing either one of these things. Now, I do them as well, so I'm not judging, but what I find a lot when I represent selling clients is that they don't know what the buyer is allowed to do and what they can't do once you're both under contract with each other. So let's go over that and talk about what you may expect to happen as a seller in Oregon when you get your home under contract with that buyer. Hey guys, if you don't know me yet, my name is Joe Skipper and I'm the owner of Skipper Realty Group, brokered by EXP Realty here in Oregon. Now I serve not only the community of Wilsonville, but buyers and sellers in the Portland metro area, as well as the Salem-Keizer areas. So if you're looking to buy or sell in any of these places, shoot me a text or comment below and we can set up a time to take a look at your home or the area that you want to buy in and start you on the perfect track to making it seamless. And if you haven't already, if you could like and subscribe to this page, this would be a huge help to me. This channel is meant for you as a buyer and a seller in Oregon to know all the tips and tricks out there to get you into the home that you want for the best price possible, as well as to get you the highest return on your home if you're a seller in Oregon. This process can be confusing, especially if you don't do it much, so my team and I are here to make it easy, fun, and maximize value to you. So once you hit that like button, let's get moving. So let's just skip the marketing your home part and the offers part of the sale and get right to the details on what actually happens when you're actually under contract with a buyer here in Oregon. Now I'll speak to you about as many scenarios as I can, but really each sale is unique, so your particular sale may differ from what we talk about today. But that is why you should work with an expert in this industry so that you know you're getting the best return on your investment and know that you're being protected throughout the sales process. So once you're under contract with a buyer, they have to follow certain rules within the contract and the timelines that were given. Once you're under contract, generally speaking, the buyer has 3 business days following the signed sales agreement to get their earnest money wherever it needs to go. Now, most of the time it's the title company that holds this money and it's written in the sales agreement, but it can be anything else that's agreed upon in the contract, but mostly the title company. That's one of the first things you will start to see as a seller is the receipt from the title company showing that they got the money in. Nothing really to do here as a seller, just your agent will make sure that that money gets in on time. Now the next one that is the bigger deal is the inspection period. Now right after the contract gets signed, generally speaking, the inspection timeline starts. Now in Oregon, the standard is 10 business days, but that can be more or less depending on the home that you're working with. At this time, the buyer can have the home inspected for pretty much whatever they want as long as it's in the contract that they want to do it. Now they can't tear down your walls to look at insulation, for example, unless that's in the contract, but generally a home inspection, sewer, and radon is something that's done on most of the homes. Again, nothing to do as a seller here, but after the inspection gets done, you will likely be receiving either a repair addendum or an addendum to cover closing costs or lower the price of the home based on that inspection. Now this time is generally the most stressful for sellers as they normally get this huge list of stuff that is wrong with their home and the buyer can be asking for the world in some cases. This is where you work with your agent and chat about those details. Sometimes you have really aggressive buyers that want everything in the home fixed and they want you to give them money just for the hassle of buying your home. Side note, it's so funny to me always when you're selling your home, the buyers come in and write an offer and say how much they love it. And then the inspection happens and they act like they are doing you a favor by buying it if you fix all the issues with it. Anyways, the inspection is the biggest hiccup in my opinion to the sales process. An inspector is always going to find stuff wrong with your home and the buyers are always going to ask for the world. Don't freak out though. Your agent should hold your hand through what are the big items that are legit and the items that need to be fixed and what are petty things that you can tell the buyer to take a hike on. This stuff really depends on the market and how popular your home is. The more popular your home was when it was listed, it gives you as seller a little wiggle room on negotiations because worst case, if the buyers walk, you relist and get another offer. Now, if it's a tough market and you need to sell like right away, you may end up giving more than you would normally. So it all depends on your specific scenario. Okay, we're through inspections and the buyer still wants your place. The repairs have to be done on the home in this time period, so get those done and then we go to the appraisal. So this can be another stressful time for sellers as the appraiser is going to help decide if your home is worth the amount the buyer is paying you for it. Now, most of the time your home is priced accurately by the agent based off of the comparable homes in the area, so the appraisal really shouldn't be an issue. But in the event that it is, this is another time to negotiate. Say the appraiser comes to your home and says it's worth $500K and you're under contract for $550K. The bank isn't gonna lend you that difference. So you can either walk from the deal as the buyer or the seller can pay all of that, the buyer can pay all of that, or a combo of both. Now, most appraisers are similar, but if you're working with, say, an FHA or a VA buyer, then some say they can be a little more strict on the livability of the property. So a roof leak, for example, on one of these loans would have to be fixed prior to the sale. You can't just give the buyer some money to fix it after you close. This is another part of the sale that you need to be heavily involved with your agent on. You don't want to make the wrong choices here and tank a deal when it really could be saved. Now, there are ways to challenge an appraisal if it's too low, and some other options the agent will go over with you, so pay attention to this part. Now, once the appraisal is done, the buyer is more or less committed to this sale and you are mostly home free. Now, there are a few times that you can back out, like there's a certain amount of time after you get your property disclosures, which your agent will go through that part with you prior to the sale and during any possible title issues that come up with the home. Now, an expert agent is going to know these timelines and rules, so speak with them if you have any questions or concerns on these particular timelines. Now, the lender still has to finish up some paperwork and the title company gets all your docs ready for you all to sign. So these are the few of the bigger items that bring up most of the issues that come up in a real estate sale. This process, even with a good agent, is stressful, but I hope this helps to clarify some issues that come up so that when you do get into a home sale, you have an idea of how things are going to run with it. Now, there are more complicated things that go on in the background of the sale, and your agent, lender, and title company will work together to handle all that stuff. But these are the issues that you as a seller should know more about going into a sale. If you have any questions on the sale of your home in Oregon, or you need some help with some of these topics, feel free to reach out to me and we can chat about your specific scenario, issues, or goals. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my page so that you can stay up to date with the latest on the Oregon housing market and tips and tricks for Oregon buyers and sellers in today's crazy real estate world. Thanks, guys.